In 1912, the Titanic claimed 1,500 lives.
Chat, fun fact, I was on the Titanic, I survived. Yep, that's right. Yo boy. To the DJ Sin.
In 2023, it claimed 5 more.
Hi, my name is Stockton Rush. I'm the CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan.
Stockton was designing
OceanGate already sounds hella sketchy.
a mousetrap for billionaires.
A submersible vessel which takes people to see the wreck of the Titanic has gone missing in the
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Kind of like an Eminem.
Atlantic Ocean.
Tonight, an international search operation is underway.
Like the Titanic, it was a disaster just waiting to happen.
I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me.
At some point, safety just is pure waste.
An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body.
He quite literally and figuratively went out with the biggest bang.
Hey, yo, what up? You're the... I recognize your username. My Instagram homie, right?
And who was the last person to murder 2 billionaires?
Listen, chat. I think when billionaires die, they should spread the wealth among them. Honestly, nah, fuck that. When they die, they should give me the money. I should get all the monies from dead billionaires. Chat. Type 1 in chat if you agree, and say nothing if you don't agree. Hey, yeah, what up, dog? How are you? Bro, yo, Mari Kitty. I like to call you Mari Kitty. I guess I'll just call you Little Titty Tat. Yo, they're coming to the EM comp. The homie. What up?
Stockton was supposedly a very smart boy, a graduate of Princeton University, and the youngest jet transport pilot in the world.
I wanted to be an astronaut. That's why I got an engineering degree. I watched Star Trek, Star Wars, all the video, and
like
I wanted to
Sheldon.
see those alien life forms. And eventually I realized, one, I wasn't going to go to space, and I wasn't going to get to Jupiter or Mars. But I did realize that all the cool stuff that I thought was out there is actually underwater.
Stockton had become an expert in aerospace engineering. He did this in hopes of becoming the first person to set foot on Mars. But
Well,
unfortunately
he
for
wasn't.
Stockton, someone
He's
else
dead.
was likely to beat him to it.
Shut the fuck up. This motherfucking moron, this fucking regurgitated sperm cell is not making it to Mars. Motherfucker's getting so fat and senile, he can barely make it to the refrigerator. I'm so fucking sick of Elon Musk. Bro, fuck that fat, dumbass motherfucking pussy, bro. I fucking hate his bitch ass.
And one day, we will indeed occupy Mars.
He's been saying that for like the past 20 years.
And maybe that's why Stockton decided to create the SpaceX of the ocean.
We always called ourselves SpaceX for the oceans. When I first met Stockton, he struck me
Oh,
as a
it's
very
accurate.
intelligent person. He also struck me as a very savvy engineer. Elon's doing the same thing at SpaceX, right?
So Stockton's obsession
Being
with
compared to
space
Elon
quickly
is not
became an
good.
obsession with the ocean.
And what I wanted to do
Walk
with the
to
business was just
Mars.
move the needle, get people excited about the ocean, explore the ocean, and discover what was out there.
Stockton's philosophy was simple. Why would we use resources to explore space when we haven't even fully explored Earth and its oceans? There's so much to
'Cause it's
explore in the
scary.
ocean, as only 25% has been mapped with modern technology.
There will be a time when people will go to space at much less cost and very regularly. I think the same thing's going to happen going underwater. It's going to get less expensive and much more accessible. That's where we're going to have cities, and that's where people are going to be. They're going to be down there exploring. To me, we'll have cities underwater before we have them up in space.
On the moon?
Yeah.
And this was Stockton's vision,
Bro,
an
would you live in a fucking city underwater? What the fuck?
underwater
Oh,
city
hell
that would
no.
provide humans with sustainable resources for generations.
If you think about the Earth as really the landmass that we all occupy,
I'm
then there are
scared
3
of the
planets
ocean.
worth of resources available in the ocean. Minerals, chemicals, biological. It is
We
a
already
vast,
fucked up
huge
the Earth. Let's
opportunity.
go fuck
An
up the
opportunity
ocean.
that was being overlooked in favor of space exploration.
Establishing a self-sustaining base on Mars.
The future of mankind is underwater. It's not on Mars. We're not going to have a base on Mars.
What the hell is down
We'll
there?
try and waste a lot of money. We'll have a base underwater because when the sun extinguishes, there will still be hydrothermal vents,
Bro, this guy's retarded.
and there will still be those life forms down there that are living off chemosynthesis that don't need the sun. You know, if we trash this planet, the best lifeboat for mankind is underwater.
But getting humans to the bottom of the ocean is a very difficult task. It's dangerous, it's expensive.
There's a regulatory challenge.
And the current regulations wouldn't allow Stockton to build a submarine that could go deeper than 150 feet.
I think over time, Stockton just realized that the only way we were going to be able to help humanity unlock the secrets of the ocean was to get past the regulations and just prove that it could be done as safely as possible.
At some point, safety just is pure waste. I mean, if you just want to be safe, don't get out of bed, don't get in your car, don't do anything. Yeah. At some point, you're going to take some risk, and it really is a risk-reward question. I said, I think I can do this just as safely by breaking the rules.
So for the next few years, Stockton continued breaking the rules. He'd go on to document his entire journey in 4K, and he'd give lectures on submarine safety along the way.
And one of the things I came up with are the myths. One is that subs are dangerous. In the last 35 years, there hasn't been a serious injury, and there have been over 15 million people go in them. But they're statistically the safest vehicles on the planet.
Damn, you want to be Aquaman? That was like Bill Clinton.
Stockton didn't always have this attitude towards safety. The early days of OceanGate were an entirely different story.
Only after a complete systems test is the OceanGate crew ready to dive.
The company's first sub was a vessel called Antipodes, and it was the perfect test sub for OceanGate.
It's our first sub, Antipodes, and we use that as our training sub.
58 inches diameter. It is about 15 feet long.
This sub had already been certified by the American Bureau of Shipping, so there was a very slim chance of it imploding. It was designed to withstand depths of around 1,000 feet, which is impressive, but nowhere near the depth of the Titanic.
This is where the Titanic is on the ocean floor.
That's actually
below 12,500 feet of water.
But OceanGate weren't ready for the Titanic just yet. At this point, they were just a local submarine team, and in the early days, their eyes were set on some lesser-known shipwrecks.
A local submarine team is exploring the wreck of a luxury passenger liner that sank 90 years ago this spring off the coast of Port Townsend.
Today we're doing our third day of diving on the SS Governor.
The SS Governor was located in Washington, and it was often referred to as the area's mini Titanic.
The Governor was a luxury liner that was on its way from San Francisco to Seattle on April 1st, 1921. Shortly after midnight, it collided with a freighter. 8 of the 240 people on board went down with the ship.
For years, there have been rumors that it went down with a loaded safe.
The safe, the infamous safe.
That safe is believed to contain around $4 million worth of gold coins.
Damn.
At first, I thought OceanGate was trying to pull off a $4 million submarine heist. You know, just like the opening scene in the first Titanic movie.
It's payday, boys.
But as it turns out, even if they did happen to find the treasure, they would have been forced to hand it over to the man who owns its salvage rights. So I guess OceanGate weren't in this area for profit. They really just wanted to explore the area and test their new sub's capabilities.
The crew of the sub is practicing its approaches to the Governor in 240 feet of water for a much more dangerous inspection of the Montebello at 900 feet down.
After the mini Titanic, OceanGate would move on to a much deeper shipwreck. Their goal was to ramp up the depths of their dives, one shipwreck at a time.
It's part of our ramp up to a California expedition that we're doing in September to a shipwreck called the SS Montebello.
The Montebello was a U.S. oil tanker that was torpedoed by a Japanese sub off the coast of California during World War II.
The SS Montebello was not another ship holding treasure. In fact, it was quite the opposite.
It went down with an estimated 70,000 barrels of oil on board.
And it's posing a huge environmental threat to California's coastline.
OceanGate wanted to make a name for themselves by preventing this environmental threat. And their plan was to create a 3D map of the wreck using their new sonar technology.
The team is also testing the latest in 2- and 3-dimensional sonar equipment.
And we're taking our sub and our Blueview sonar system down there to create a 3D map of that wreck.
Not many people know about these expeditions, but they were a critical part of OceanGate's early days. And after mapping out that oil spill, they were ready for phase 2 of their company's mission.
An historic Washington state tragedy is helping head off a future one down the coast. In Seattle, Gary Chittum, King 5 News.
This local submarine team was taking over the ocean. Stockton increases the budget, and after 130 successful dives, investors were asking the same question. Was this team going to be the next SpaceX? Name of the company, OceanGate Incorporated. It's a cutting-edge, high-tech firm out of the Midwest awaiting imminent patent approval on their next generation of submersible vehicles. Right now, the stock trades over the counter at 10 cents a share. But with the collaboration of one of hip-hop's biggest stars, our analysts indicate it could go a heck of a lot higher than that. Macklemore was on top of the world in 2014. It was the year he won 4 Grammy Awards.
And the Grammy goes to Macklemore and Ryan Lewis.
But his most underrated win that year was his collaboration with Stockton Rush.
I think we're gonna find sharks.
The pair would team up in search of the incredibly rare 6-gill shark, a trait that was very uncommon amongst most shark species.
What is the probability that we will see a shark today?
Somewhere between 0 and 100.
Macklemore had been a fan of sharks his entire life, and he was pretty skeptical that Stockton would find a shark as rare as the 6-gill.
If we don't see a shark, you'll buy me a shark.
No one.
A baby shark. Yeah, baby. All right. That's a deal.
It's a deal. Okay.
But little did he know, they would find a shark. In that yellow submarine, under 400 feet of water, Stockton and Macklemore were going to create memories.
Bro, Macklemore's music was honestly pretty good for the time. I remember in high school listening to that one song about Air Jordans or something. It's like, I jumped so high, I touched the net. Mom, I touched the net. The best day of my life. You guys remember that one song? I think it was called Wings.
That would last forever.
Mac Allman.
Oh my god.
Get the fuck out of here.
6-gill. Top side. We have a 6-gill at the viewport.
Very exciting.
I like small areas.
Didn't think it was gonna happen. Pulled it out. Our mission is complete.
It has been an unbelievable experience, something that I will absolutely never forget.
That was awesome.
And it's made me love sharks even more.
Stay true, stay true, stay true. The ones I still listen to him.
And that was it. That was the business model at the time for OceanGate.
We do dives looking for 6-gill sharks and things like that that are at 5,000. It's a very unusual business. It's its own category. It's a new type of travel.
And eventually, they'd be selling tickets to the Titanic for up to $250,000 a person. However, it wasn't going to be in Antipodes. Remember, this yellow sub was only certified for dives that were 1/12 the depth of the Titanic. And unfortunately for Stockton, you couldn't just buy or rent a sub that was capable of going 12,500 feet. Stockton believed it was the strict laws and regulations that were preventing him from innovating the submersible industry. So he came to the conclusion that he only had one reasonable option remaining, building his own sub.
Initially, we didn't think we were going to build our own subs. We thought we were going to get somebody else to build our subs. The industry standard just wouldn't allow for them to build what we felt we needed and what we thought humanity needed to explore the ocean.
So they did what a lot of companies do. They break the rules and act now, then they ask for forgiveness later, and the name they decided to give their first custom-built sub?
Cyclops, a new manned submersible, now undergoing sea trials.
There you go. That's pretty good right there.
It was time to go all in. Stockton was going to ignore the industry's strict rules and regulations. It was time to prove them all wrong.
Cyclops is going to be
go down there. I bet I could. Listen, Chad, 250K, that's a lot of money. It's $250,000. Shit. $250,000, I might go down there. This was on Good Morning America. Bro, you old. Who the fuck watches Good Morning America?
Useful tool for any organization, company, or institution that needs to go underwater and perform tasks at depth.
Cyclops is the newest creation of OceanGate, a for-profit private company in partnership with the University of Washington's Applied Physics Laboratory.
We couldn't have done it without that partnership. You know, the Applied Physics Lab has been effectively our engineering partner.
But this wasn't going to be a usual submarine. Stockton wanted to create the most simple and easy-to-use submarine on the market.
Stockton is very interested in being able to quickly train pilots, have pilots be able to come in and use this thing without having to go through weeks of training on there.
Solution? this video game controller.
We use this game controller to drive the sub. First thing is there are 2 dead man switches. You have to press one of these buttons, and now it's ready to go.
And in 2015, the sub was ready to go. So Stockton organized the big reveal, and the christening ceremony was set to begin.
Okay, on behalf of the whole OceanGate team and all the team members who are here tonight, I christen the Cyclops.
What a waste of a bottle, bro. Burnt out.
So all of our test program has been about incremental testing. We started over 2 years ago with Cyclops 1. Out here, this is really focused on one thing, and that's the pressure vessel, and making sure that component is safe and capable of handling depths down to 4,000 meters repeatedly.
I feel so lucky I got to do one dive while the Cyclops was here.
But Cyclops wasn't the final product. Cyclops 2 began development a few years later, although Stockton didn't like that name very much. So they rebranded to Titan.
Hi, my name is Stockton Rush. I'm the CEO and founder of OceanGate. Let's take a look at Titan.
If you thought Cyclops was simplistic, just wait till you see its successor.
It's got one button, and that's it. We have our control screen here, our sonar screen here, and we can put any image we want in the back.
It's one of the only subs that can hold 5 people.
It's also the only one with a toilet. Sort of.
There were some parts that kind of looked like they held together.
And yet, I couldn't help noticing how many pieces of this sub seemed improvised.
We can use these off-the-shelf components. I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on!
And so what if people laugh? Titan was fully operational in just a few years, and it was all made possible with the leadership of Stockton Rush.
Titanic, bro, that's funny. Titanic. You see the irony? The PS4 controller. At least it's not Xbox. I've been having a pretty good day. Oh hell no! Imagine.
You did it, Stockton.
There's some luck here. High five on white guys. Here we go. Okay.
High five for the white guys. Oh hell, chat. He's like high five for the whites. Woo! What the fuck? Bro, that's fucked.
As days became months and months became years, that little sub was passing every test imaginable.
This is why you want your pilot to be an engineer.
He believed that building this sub would help him unlock the secrets of the ocean. But Stockton wasn't building his own submarine. He was building his own coffin.
It's a miracle it can do what it does when you look at it there, because when you look at it, it is very small. Yeah, it looks like it's put together with a piece of string, but it's not, obviously.
We can scale to multiple vehicles relatively quickly because we've used commercially off-the-shelf products for almost everything we do.
Scary,
we can
bro.
bring additional vessels.
Giddies, bro. I went to Best Buy. I was buying parts for this shit.
Online in a matter of months as opposed to years or decades.
So Stockton plans to create even more low-budget submersibles.
Otto picked the Emoji Movie pacing.
And soon enough, he was going to have his own fleet of submarines. The only question being, were they safe?
Absolutely fucking not.
That's such a good movie.
I'd like to be remembered as an innovator. I think it was.
You know what's crazy? We all remember you as a dumbass motherfucking piece of shit.
General MacArthur said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." And I've broken some rules to make this. I think I've broken them with logic and good engineering behind me. The carbon fiber, titanium, there's a rule where you don't do that. Well, I did.
The most controversial feature of Titan was its carbon fiber hull. This was considered controversial because the industry standard material was titanium.
Engineers zero in on titanium, a super strong and lightweight material that would allow deep-sea vehicles to reach the Titanic. It is with this material that today's most inventive submarine builders continue to push technology forward to penetrate the ocean's deepest regions.
Did he just say penetrate? Bro, I'm bricked up now. My dick hard as hell. Chat, penetrate's my trigger word. You say penetrate and all the blood rushes straight to my cock. Pick another movie? Yeah, not the Emoji Movie again.
But Stockton didn't like titanium. He believed carbon fiber was the better material.
Carbon fiber is 3 times better on a strength to buoyancy basis than titanium. And underwater, that's what you care about. It's not strength to weight, it's strength to buoyancy. And yet no one had done that.
Titan was able to skirt the law by operating in international waters. And although it passed multiple test dives, many believed the carbon fiber hull was slowly being damaged over time.
If the sub passed its pressure test, it wasn't going to fail on the first dive, but it's going to fail over time. It might fail on dive 7. which is insidious. You don't get that with steel or with titanium.
Carbon fiber is a great material. It's better than titanium. It's better than a lot of other materials. When I started the business, old-timers in the industry told me I was nuts, and they continue to tell me that.
So Stockton continued operating his carbon fiber sub, recording the entire assembly process along the way.
Oh yeah, so that will be the pressure vessel for Cyclops 2. It will go to 4,000 meters. It'll be the deepest diving carbon fiber sub ever built. When it goes to 4,000 meters, it'll be the only one out there. I'm going to be the first guy in the sub, so we will see. It's pretty simple, but if we mess it up, there's not a lot of recovery.
With his goal being to explore the bottom of the ocean, you'd reasonably expect some sort of certification from a third-party agency. However, Titan was never certified by any regulatory body, and that's because Stockton believed that these agencies were
over the top in their rules and regulations, but they had nothing with carbon fiber. So we had to go out and work on that. And one of the things I learned is, you know, when you're outside the box, it's really hard to tell how far outside the box you really are. And we were pretty far out there. So we have a carbon fiber hull.
His thoughts about breaking the rules.
Aren't like Hondas made of carbon fiber? Pacing! Motherfucker! I love you. Thank you so much for the gifted. I appreciate you so much. It means the world to me. Oh, Kitty's got a sub. She can watch ad-free. Shout out to our girl Pacing. Remind me that's the sub goal. You're amazing. Thank you so much for that. Damn, he's a mad lad. He's kind of a pussy.
It's really about thinking outside the box and coming up with innovative solutions.
I mean, anything when you're trying something outside the box, people inside the box think you're nuts. Same thing when Elon Musk was doing SpaceX.
This guy is not just riding Elon's disc. He's doing twists, splits, and bounces on it. Bro is riding Elon so hard. His penis is coming out of his mouth. Let's motherfucking go! Pacing with another 2. Chat, turn the fuck up. I appreciate the fuck out of you. Chat, Pacing is really the GOAT. The GOAT motherfucking
box, everything's scary.
Titan continued to pass every test that Stockton could throw at it, and eventually, Titan needed a new milestone.
Pacing is the GOAT, bro. Not just any GOAT. The throat goat.
New goal to reach. So can you guess where it was headed next?
Make it 5, chat! Chat, count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn the fuck up.
Goal was, where do you want to go in the ocean? What is the most known site in the ocean?
False site.
And it's clearly the Titanic.
Oh.
Ah yes, the Titanic. She really was the most beautiful ship in the world. Said to be unsinkable, but destined to go down on her maiden voyage.
Bro, if I was on the Titanic, I would just swim. Like, why didn't anyone think of just swimming back to shore? What the fuck were they thinking, bro? Oh my god, bro. Education just wasn't the same back then, huh?
The Titanic has been a symbol of excessive confidence for over a century, and together with the irony of OceanGate's failed expedition, it'll probably remain relevant for another 100 years. But why would anyone risk their life to see such an ancient shipwreck? Well, Titanic was the highest grossing film for many years, and on top of that, James Cameron, the director of that movie, he completed his own expedition to obtain real cinematic footage.
I actually made the film because I wanted to go and dive to the Titanic wreck. And then I had to make this movie. Okay, all right, I'll make the movie. And then that worked out well. And so then I could afford to go some more. There was this powerful, almost magnetic attraction to find out what's down there. Titanic sort of is like a black hole. It sucks you in.
And the next person to be sucked into this black hole was, of course...
True, good point.
Yeah, so the Titanic is just such a huge draw. It became a must-do dive. I read an article that said
I'm also gravitated towards holes.
There are 3 words in the English language that are known throughout the planet, and that's Coca-Cola, God, and Titanic.
If you ever watched the 1997 movie, you'd know it's a combination of both history and fiction. The film centers around the fictional love triangle of Rose, Jack, and Caledon. And when shit hits the fan, we'd get to see the characters' true colors.
What, him? Give me a gutter rat!
I'd rather be his than your wife.
But remember, this story was just fictional. However, on the other side of the ship, we'd get a glimpse of the story that kicks off our sequel, Titanic 2.
Please, Ida, get into the boat. No!
This is Isidore and Ida Strauss, two passengers who were actually on board the Titanic in 1912. Their tale is well documented and has been recreated in various films and musicals.
I knew it was a good movie as soon as I saw the boobs. I was like, damn, bro knows what he's doing. This is a masterpiece.
For 40 years, and where you go, I go. Don't argue with me, Isidore. You know it does no good.
I would
Isidore and Ida would go down with the ship in 1912, but not before having a number of descendants.
What the fuck?
One of them being the communications director at OceanGate, and who also just so happened to be married to a man named Stockton. And maybe that's why Stockton was so obsessed with continuously going down to the Titanic.
And our goal is to go back to the Titanic year after year, scan it with sonar, and document the wreck and its decay and discover what we can discover.
And so the stage was set for the adventure of a lifetime. But Stockton couldn't fund these expeditions on his own, so he began advertising his once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to the public. And the now deleted promotional video was set to be released.
OceanGate Expeditions offers you the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a specially trained crew member safely diving to the Titanic wreckage site. Get ready for what Jules Verne could only imagine, a 12,500-foot journey to the bottom of the sea. It's the Ocean...
Get the fuck out of town, bro! Let's go! 6 motherfucking gifted subs from our girl Pacing. She's carrying stream on her back tonight. That's crazy, chat. Oh my god. So much helps me out more than you ever know. Guys, January 17th. DJ show, meetup event, turn the fuck up. There's a full bar there. There's gonna be booty shaking, fucking grinding, fucking nasty, vile, fucking freaky shit going down. You're not gonna miss out.
Gate Titanic Experience.
Bring all your friends and family.
With aerospace experts at the University of Washington, NASA, and Boeing on the design of our hull.
It's very well engineered and very safe.
That aged well.
And the team is very focused on safety first.
Not 1 second of me experiencing anything from OceanGate have I ever felt.
Master Chef? Bro, Chelsea Kellogg Master. They got a Master Chef going down there.
Oh, unsafe.
As I pointed out on the bridge earlier, your safety plans all on the vessel.
Come join us on our next expedition. Don't miss the opportunity to be part of history. The OceanGate Titanic Experience. There's truly nothing else like it.
I'm not even trying to be an asshole, chat. I'm not even trying to be a dickhead. If you don't show up, like, there's something wrong with you. This is a once-in-a-lifetime memory, and you know, you're never going to experience this again. Meet all your friends and hang out. We got an after party going down. The next day, I'm taking everybody out who's staying, and we're having a great time.
But this wasn't just another episode of Black Mirror, nor was it an episode of The Twilight Zone. This was reality. And although quite a few people were eager to get themselves a ticket, there was still one question that remained.
What's the level of danger with this type of expedition?
Well, surprisingly, the safest part of the expedition will be the submarine part. In the last 35 years, there hasn't been an injury on a commercial, a private sub, although there have been over 15 million people go in them. Going to sea is intrinsically a risky activity, but we're doing everything we can to make sure that it's as safe and comfortable as possible.
Well, Stockton
went on quite a few media runs during this period, with the goal of highlighting OceanGate's mission.
Our rule is we risk capital, we don't risk people.
The media coverage before the incident flaunted a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It looks like there are these rust formations. That's actually what's left over from the bacteria that's consuming it at a huge rate.
Really? So we may not be able to see it forever, so go get into a submersible now.
Finally, the crew seemed to foster a culture of safety. There were checklists, inspections before and after every dive, and a 3 strikes rule. If 3 things seemed out of the ordinary, no matter how minor, they'd cancel the dive.
But the media coverage after Titan's implosion was an entirely different story.
Everyone I know keeps asking me the same question. Why would you get on that dangerous sub
A 60-minute special identifying over 30 members of the maritime community who warned Stockton about Titan's safety procedures, and a chief submersible pilot who was fired and subsequently sued for speaking out against OceanGate.
If someone raised a safety concern, as the chief pilot did, they were not only not listened to, they were silenced.
But with all that being said, if you did manage to get a ticket to the Titan expedition, you can't say that Stockton didn't warn you.
This is an experimental sub. People are informed that it's very dangerous down there. It's an open book here. Do you have any questions about what's going on, about acoustic monitoring, about carbon fiber problems we had, rumors of problems we had, actual problems we had? Feel free to ask. We're happy to show everything. We want everyone going into this fully informed. This is an experimental sub. This is a dangerous environment. It's 6,000 PSI. Very few people have been down there. And so we want to make sure that you're going in with an open eye and you understand what's going on. If you don't want to do it at any time, feel free to say, hey, I want to take a pass, and we can work something out. Maybe bring you another year or something else. But, really want to make sure you're aware of all this.
And as a last-ditch effort to limit their liability, you'd also have to sign OceanGate's waiver.
An experimental submersible vessel that has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. Where do I sign?
June 18th, 2023.
You remember when they first lost the connection with the sub? They're like, we have 8 hours to find this sub to save them. But everyone was counting it down and shit, but they were just dead the whole time.
The OceanGate Titanic experience is set to begin.
Are reporting the dive as a go. Please stand by.
5 crew members are sealed into the submersible, and so is their fate.
CEO Stockton Rush, businessman Hamish Harding,
French explorer Paul-Henri Nargeolet,
businessman Shahzada Dawood and his 19-year-old son Suleiman were on the expedition as part of a Father's Day trip.
Everything was going according to plan.
Happy Father's Day, Dad. We're fucking dead.
One of the questions about this is how risky is going in the sub. Turns out in this expedition, probably the safest thing will be once you're underwater. Once I'm a couple of feet underwater, I know I'm coming back. I know everybody's coming back.
Malfunction.
In just under 2 hours, Titan had lost communication with its mothership, but the crew at the surface did not file a missing report for nearly 8 hours.
That's crazy.
Finally, someone snapped.
Call the fucking Coast Guard.
Vessel disappeared during an underwater mission to tour the Titanic wreckage.
Tonight, an international search operation is underway.
We'll continue to put every available asset that we have in an effort to find the Titan and the crew members.
Every news station in the world was in on this story. They brought in experts, former passengers, hell, they even got James Cameron on the line.
Stockton Rush asked me if I wanted to go out there and dive this season. I wasn't interested.
And then came the rumors. A leaked transcript of the crew's final moments and a series of tapping sounds were supposedly heard around Titan's last known location. But of course, both of these rumors were declared fake by the feds.
Tapping sounds are ridiculous.
All that was left was a few hours of oxygen and a race against time.
Have just hours of oxygen left now, heightening the race against time to rescue the 5 people inside.
Time was running out. And well,
why don't they just have those things that inflate really fast and float them to the surface? You know what I'm saying?
They did end up finding that submarine.
Debris from the Titan has been brought to the surface from the ocean floor. Several pieces of the doomed vessel.
Once the pressure vessel you're certain it's not going to collapse on everybody, everything else can fail. Your thrusters can go, your lights can...
Bro was so wrong. And everyone fucking died.